I am live on everything right now. Say, there we go. You guys, I'm going live on my TikTok. Okay. Whew. Hello. Wait, is this D? Okay, this core. Hi, how are you? I have not ever seen you. I'm glad that you're joining me. Nope, don't you dare. You better decline. You better stop. Okay. Son of a gun. Uh, So I am going live. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm going live on my regular page on my Instagram instead of my business page. So I'm like, oh, that's why I never seen you before. And things like, is it Doug Secor? I wonder, is that Doug or Dave? I know the name Secor. I'm wondering. Yeah, sorry, it said somebody's name out loud. I can cut that out. Um, okay, so I'm live on here, and I usually go live on my Instagram with it's the shift with Gigi Star rather than on my Gigi with the Star because that's my business page. Right now I'm on my personal page, just just I guess putting myself out there on my personal page because a lot of people on my personal page don't know what I'm doing. They don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know. Sometimes I kind of just keep those parts of me separate. Um, But then again, at the same time, when you really think about it, a lot of people that follow me on my regular page, we don't really we haven't spoken. There are no words, so it's like, all right. So if you know that I have a total weird out there belief, that's not for like what everybody else thinks about socially. Oh well, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? It's not like you're gonna be like, I can't believe. Like, who are you? We haven't spoken in forever, but I'm glad that we're following each other. Perhaps maybe we can like get better acquainted. I don't know. Does anybody let me know if I'm crazy? Does anybody on any of these apps, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, if any of you guys actually speak with people in your real life that you're following? Like, how often do you do that? Or is it just like a whole bunch of people that you're talking to online, but they're not really in your real personal life where you're seeing them on at least once a week or something? Because literally, I don't know anybody when I think about it. Yeah, no. Maybe my mom, even my brother doesn't have social media. But yeah, I don't really think there's people that oh my gosh, Dan Love. There's nobody behind me. There's orchids. But anyway, people that I know in my personal life, we don't really do much with the online thing. Is that for anybody else? Is that like am I crazy? Do you guys like know people in real life and online and you communicate with the two? Like, okay, yeah, I know some people, but we're not like I said, every week we're seeing each other, hanging out, all that kind of stuff. Um, oh no, no, sorry, Dan line didn't get me. Um, but anybody, you guys that are watching right now, please let me know. Do you guys communicate with people? Like even when there's a bunch of people that are on here now, like looking, but they're not communicating. Just hi, you guys. Can somebody text me a hi? Give me a thumbs up or something. I'm not asking for anything other than just some sort of verbiage. You know what I mean? Hi. Hi, my name is Gigi Star. Gigi, that's me. Are you a tourist? No, I am not. Burnt. What is this? I can't. Burnt nugget? No, no, I'm not. What are we talking about? We're talking about people not communicating on in real life and the apps. We don't really communicate like that. We don't connect. Hi, how are you, EB? Um, I'm just trying to find out because, we come on here for connection in some sort of way, but it's not going to be the same as like the real thing when you're actually one on one with somebody and talking. The exchange of energy is just so different than when you're online. Sure, your words they do matter when you talk to somebody and you actually see something really change in their life and they come back and they said, "I listened to the thing you said and it really helped me." Like, "Oh wow, that's really great." What? But also like just connecting in person, physical, just it's a different thing. Grand Rising Reina doing a wonderful job sharing life. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Pyramid Salon, huh? Thank you. And people are giving me hearts. Thank you so much. Like I just want to know, do you guys connect with people in real life online? So you have a friend and you're like talking online, or do you just connect in just real life, and online is a whole other thing, which is kind of like, what is it? Um, I know a few in real life on social media. The pandemic has expanded my social circle. In what sense, Greg? Like, how has it expanded your social circle? Like, fully in real life, or is it just expanding it online? Like, this is, I'm not critique, I'm just asking. I just want to know, because when it came to the pandemic, I just, okay. Um, I didn't, I don't think anything really, uh, for me, I didn't have any issues. Um, but just, I'm not here to talk about all that. Um, Encourage more viewers to share. You know what? Yeah, if you guys like what I'm saying or anything, please share this. If you guys have any questions, because I actually talk about manifestation, but communicating, connecting, and all that sort of stuff is a form. It's part of manifesting. You have to be able to see yourself reflect back to you with the people that you encounter, and just communicate, and just all sorts of stuff. So I talk about manifesting, and people think that they're just like some woo woo thing. It's not connected with regular life. Your Somebody, Minty says, your skull shape is giving me life. That is, I'm going to take that as a compliment. It's got that oval, you know what I mean? Like, that's really, thank you. I appreciate that. There's sometimes some people have like lumps and bumps in the back of their head. I know from experience that I do not, and I appreciate it, that you can see something that's really appeasing and it's giving you life. I love it. um, the expansion was from online connections. Ah, I got you, Greg, saying that that's one form. And at this point in time, I guess with the transition of how money is going to be going around in this century, it's very lucrative. However, the separating from the physical and the online, I find, for me, is detrimental to my mental health. And I know that a lot of people are like, "Oh no, you can substitute everything with online with air." It's like, no, no, no. And ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. As Tammy and what is his name again? That guy Marvin. Tammy and Marvin said in that delightful song, "You cannot it just. There's no substance. Like there, no, for me." Um. Okay, so wait. Why not, Matt? Wait. Why not? Woman festing? Why's it gotta be manifesting? Oh, okay. You want to know why? Because right now you're doing something with the words Finn. That okay. So I'm putting out a warning for you guys. If you guys are religious, I'm going to give you a heads up that I'm going to say something about how things were formed with Christianity that may make you upset, but I'm just telling you the truth. and you can look it up for yourself. I'm in Florida. Yep. Know who I am? No, I don't. Pyramid Salon. I only know one person that has a pyramid. I mean, a salon in Florida. But I'm gonna explain to you the whole manifesting versus women festing. Several layers here. Okay, we're mankind for a reason. And then there's the mankind that have wombs. Thus, they are women. Okay, man is gentle here. I'm going to be gentle. We're dealing with masculine energies, not people and how they act. Macho. Oh, I got a mustache and I'm macho. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about energy. We got masculine energy and we got feminine energy. Stepping aside from what you think a man versus a woman will do, every person has a masculine and feminine energy. Now, stepping out of that, recognizing that the masculine energy is a force and the feminine energy is a receiving. So, we are mankind because we are connected to creating, which is a form of force. Okay? So now we have and again, force is this. It's not it's this. We all have this if we have a thinking mind. I lost some of you guys. I'm just letting you know. So, oops, hold on. I concur. Our social graces are depleting, unfortunately. Yes, they are. So, when it comes to manifesting, you're dealing more with thought, okay? And thought is a form of forward, but there's something that has to receive it, something that has to give you some sort of inspiration. Okay, so now we're dealing with the feminine. Okay, you cannot have one without the other. Okay, this has nothing to do with whatever you identify with, none of that. I'm just explaining why manifesting and not womanfesting, because you're not sitting back when you're first having your initial strike of this is a different angle, aka a different angel, an angel that comes to me and gives me something from where I was going here to here. Isn't that interesting how angel and angle are so similar in spelling? Anyways, that's why they're calling it manifesting, is because of the energies. It has nothing to do with has nothing to do with man and woman and what you think or society's telling you supposed to be. So that's why. Um it's just the energies of the first thing that has to happen, but which is masculine. But masculine cannot do anything without feminine. Cannot be in the desire, the muse, the drive. That's the feminine. You have to have them both. They have to be together. There's no one or the other. But the thing that we're doing, which is expansion, going out, that's why it's mankind. And then we got the ones of mankind that have wombs. They're very unique, and we call them woman. So I'm just breaking it down to you in a whole other way, so that, as I said to you before, people who are religious, please be warned. But so that there's a breaking of a misinformation that has gone throughout the decades, the centuries, the eons, and being maintained and then muddled even more and more and more. So, okay, let's see. Okay, thank you, propellers. I don't know, Zoomer. Somebody stopping by to say hello. Thanks for the like the moment, and you looking at my live. You're fabulous and fantastic and a superhuman being. I appreciate that. That's very nice. I truly hope you're having a great day. Me too. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Actually, I'd like to know what you guys think about what I'm saying, because I'm talking at you and not being able to talk with you, as we are not in, like with each other speaking, not even online. Like, I can do it online. By the way, I do have a class that's every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm able to interact and speak with everybody. If you have questions or whatever about manifesting, or just a lot of times there's people who are from religious backgrounds that have a lot of questions, especially when they've been told one thing about manifesting, Oh, somebody was talking about like witchcraft and all that sort of stuff, and it's like, man, okay, let me explain it to you. Because nobody's doing anything different. If you're practicing a witch versus a person that's sitting there praying to a god outside of you that you were told to do, you're still using your thoughts, and your thoughts are always creating. And then it's also a matter of getting out of your little sphere, like who you know, and going around and making friends and being open to see that there's a different way that people are thinking. And because you were told to think one way doesn't mean it's always necessarily right for you, meaning you may be following some rules and it's making you live in misery. And so you might want to check that and recognize, hey, I don't really like these things. It's really making me upset. I want to see what's going to make me happy. Um, because I sometimes people just don't want to live after a while because of the stuff that people have been taught, that is not for them or in their favor. It's more over in the favors of the people teaching them, because that saying, the love of money is the root of all evil, it seems like it's just one-sided thing, but it is very circular. It's in your face in ways you would never believe. It's very alarming when you start to see it. Um, Blessings to you. Somebody's Plan B, Plan B smoothie. Okay, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it. Sometimes some of you guys have like very interesting names, and I really I live for it. It's like, oh, okay, I like to see what you guys are saying here. Um, but some of you guys that are still on here after I've said all the things that I've said, what do you think about what I'm saying? Um, what do you guys think about what I'm saying? Are any of you people familiar with law of attraction, manifestation? It's very sugar coated, I have to say. It's an extremely sugar coated industry now, and it's a repeat of what's happened with all the religions. They've There's a lot of times that these things were passed on by word of mouth and not written down for a reason. And you really want to be around the right people that really get what's going on to explain things to you in the way that needs to be explained, so that you're not living in fear and manifesting fearful things. And because there's going to be a lot of people, what, the false prophets? There's going to be a lot of people that will say that they know. But then if their drive is, these people are bad, and if you don't do it this way, and if you don't accept this, then you're a terrible person and you don't belong, and there's something over you that's going to make you suffer, chances are you're not really on the side that's going to really benefit you in the way that you were thinking. I'm just saying. um Let me read some of these things. Plan B, I am. I don't know. I don't know what I said, but again, Plan B smoothie. All right. The world is Maya, an illusion, and people are trapped in their minds about life. Yes. I don't know what Maya means, but I believe that's one of those, like, is it Hindu or something? And by the way, all the religions are talking about the same thing, but just different aspects of it. Explaining things, especially there's 7 principles that they're all explaining, but some of them are really hyper focused on mentalism, which is your thoughts, use thinking mind, and how to take control of it, because we think that we do not have control over it. I have to be very careful of how I'm saying this right now, because there's a whole industry that's based off of you thinking that you don't have control over your mental mind, and they make a lot of money out of it. I gotta do that neck again. They make a lot of money out of it. And what better to make you believe that you don't have any control? That whole, it's the concept of you're driving in the car and there's like, Jesus, take the wheel, right? You're driving in the car. There's you in the car driving. You take your hands off the wheel, but you're still in the driver's seat. And your feet have the ability to be on the gas or the brakes. And Your hands have the ability to hold on to that steering wheel and control. There's not going to be anything that's going to, as you're in a moving car, move over, I got this. No, it's not going to be that. This is your mind is always, it's, you're in control. And it's scary. It's very upsetting, especially if you see things in your life that are not so favorable and you believe, how can I be in control of this? Uh, yeah, I get it. But you have to really pay attention. Okay, wait, let's see what's going on. Oh, if no one has told you yet, okay. Okay, if what is it? Hellish 7. If no one has told you yet, you're wonderful, bright, beautiful, and hopefully the rest of your day goes amazing. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, you guys. You know what? I'm going to take all this. This is really nice. I really appreciate it. You want to know why? It's a big change from like the mean speaking trolls. There's some like sometimes there's nice speaking trolls, and I'm not saying that's what you are. I'm saying that they come and tell you things, but then they just want to actually recognize. They recognize that you're not speaking the way that they're speaking, and they're like, "Oh no, no, no." Then they kind of get a little nippy. But then there's the ones that come, people that come on and say really nice things, and I really appreciate it. It makes my day, and I want you guys to know that I'm hoping that I'm doing something to help you see something differently, to help you make your day, because it's helpful. It really is. It really is. Um, the most powerful thing we can do is let things go. In a sense, we have to be very careful of that, because there's people that will be like, "Oh, I just let things go," and you're like, "No, you just let people walk all over you because you're afraid to confront somebody." That's not helpful. I know there's people that I know that do these, and they have problems. I mean, like major problems with their thyroid, with their weight, all sorts of stuff. And they think that they're doing good by like, I just let it go. And it's like, you got to stand up sometimes. Somebody's abusing you and they're talking to you in a certain way that's all kind of crazy. You're not letting it go. It's still holding on into you. It's anchored in there, and it's manifesting in things in your body. And this is when I talk about, you're always thinking that whole Jesus take the wheel. You're thinking that there's something that's going to take it away for you. You're just holding on to it. You're like a little chipmunk, and you're not letting that emotion go. And how you do that, there's different methods and different ways for each person. It's not a one size fit all. You have to be aware of these things. People come on and want to talk about techniques for manifesting, and it's supposed to be what works for you. And because we can be very tricky, this is where the whole idea of, is it Satan? I think it's Satan, where we fall into our vices and say, oh no, like it's, I'm only eating this thing today because it's Tuesday, and I feel joyful on Tuesday when I eat these things. And you're eating something that's really terrible for you. You're just trying to compensate in some way. You got to be very aware of what you're doing and what's happening and what the effects are when it comes to all these things. Um, Powerful, poor, indeed, queen. Oh, thank you. You guys are very nice, and it's hilarious. Okay, so my name again, Gigi Star, right? Sometimes people are coming on here, and I think it's really cool. This is the universe reflecting things back to me. My real name is Regina, and that means reigning queen, like the one that's in rule here, right? And I'm getting more and more when I have like these lives, people calling me queen, and I'm like, that is so. Thank you. And the reason why I call myself Gigi is because I do not want anybody to call me Gina, although people will still do that. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you what my name is then. My name is Gigi. It sounds fun. It sounds bubbly. It kind of reminds me of like a 1960s movie, when women were in a different type of mindset than they are now. It was the beginnings of like the feminism that we have now. So they were doing a lot more things that we would be like, how could you? That's so disempowering. But I like Gigi. Anyway, see somebody saying, don't know you. Our present situation is something we authorize. Wait, I think it's authorized by what we spoke or believe in the past. Yes, and what we believe now. It's not just in the past. It's like currently. These thoughts, they cling to you. They stay with you unless you decide that you don't want to take them on anymore and you change them. And that's where, all the things with manifesting comes around. And uh how do you control your vices? So that's a good question. Somebody's asking, how do you control your vices? Okay. I just jumped from one thing to the next. I'm sorry. And I want to press rewind. What did I say just a second ago? Gosh darn it. The thing flashed in my face and I just wasn't able to resist because I read like, ooh, what is that? So it's gone, whatever I was saying. But you get the point, I hope, right? If you don't get the point, ask me in the comments, say something, please, and thank you. So how do you control your vices? So this is it's not going to be an easy thing, especially because you call them your vices. You identify them as some sort of weakness. It's like methadone to a heroin addict. Like it's not you're not off the thing, and you have to be very brave in how you're doing it. But one of the first things that you do is you become very aware of what you're doing, and then the second thing is because there's people that will tell you, "Oh, I have an invasion to this, and I don't do these things, and da da da," and it's really sad. It's really quite sad actually. And they start eating the potato chips. I'm like, "Well, this is how I am." They just kind of embrace it. This is just it. Or they get really guilty and feel really shameful about how they're handling things, and then they bash themselves. First thing you have to do is be able to be aware that you're doing it, and then after that, you have to find for you what is going to help you actually put motion towards not doing it. So you start asking yourself questions. What do I need to do to get myself here? What would I actually like to experience? So there's a lot of introspection. What do I actually want? You have to be very curious, and you don't bash yourself. So if you say, I want to go to bed earlier, I'm having a hard time with sleeping, I'm having whatever, and you're recognizing that you're drinking your coffee or whatever at a certain time of the day, you have to start testing the waters. Well, why am I holding on to this? Why am I doing these things? How about I start drinking my coffee earlier and make a cutoff time, right? You start working with yourself, and then you're like, I actually just don't want to be doing this, period. Well, what is it that it's happening that's making me hold on to it? Because usually the things that are the vices are the things that you're afraid of letting go of. You're just afraid. There's a fear. Um, I'm reading somebody's "Don't Know You" says, "We are not the body, we are not our emotions nor thoughts." Exactly, that's very true. But it doesn't feel like it. So when you're dealing with the vices, you think that this is what's driving you. And it's like, no, there's something that I'm afraid of at this point, and I don't want to deal with it. So that's why this is happening. And then you have to be very strategic and very brave, but find out what's good for you. And that could be writing, that could be talking to somebody, that can be feeling into your body because you're up in your head too much. Surrounding yourself with people that are on the same trajectory as you, as well as, I guess, in a way, finding a mentor, just finding something that's going to help you move to where you want to be. Move to where you actually want to be. And it takes a lot. It's not fun sometimes. Some people, when they relax into it, when they let it go and they follow whatever their emotions are, and not the emotions where, like, okay, let me clarify this, because there's a bunch of people that are doing this at this time when they're like, you have to say this way or else I'm going to be extremely offended, and you are some sort of hating type of person, and you're targeting me and you're going to kill me, right? And they feel like they have to adjust the outside world to suit them so that they can feel better, if that is what you're doing, you are not doing anything in favor of you at all. You're actually hindering yourself. You're coddling yourself in a way that will keep you stuck there and manipulating and being tyrannical to the outside world. You have to take a step back and recognize that you're doing that so that you can let some of these things go. And letting go is, I guess, more we're feeling into the emotion of what you're dealing with. If it's fear, allowing yourself to feel the fear, sitting down, breathing through it, recognizing for things like in my body, I'll feel things in my chest and my throat or my chest. And I have to breathe through that to let it release. There's Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. There's so many writing, so many things that you can do, but you have to find out what is good for you. Sometimes we have things that have been put in our lives that we just keep replaying because that's all we know. And when that happens, we kind of get stuck and screwed over. And we just allow it to keep happening instead of taking charge and saying, you know what? No, I'm not liking this. And I really want to fix this and I want to change it and take control. And then when you do that, you'll start to recognize what you need to do so that you can stop calling these things your vices because they don't control you. You control it. And you start confronting the things that are fearful to you because usually it's about that. Oh no, if I don't do this, then I won't be worthy. People won't like me. That type of stuff. I'm hoping that answers your question, Violet. Does anybody have any other uh anything? Because I see some of you are still here. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you all very much. I think I'm gonna go early today because I came on late. I've been coming on later because I'm really like this month. I was gonna do like every day. I missed one day. Every day of the week, working weekday, and then just weekends, I'll have my manifestation 101 class. People can come in and start talking and asking questions about manifesting. And there's a lot of other things that I actually want to continue doing and get done. So next month I'm probably gonna have to do the lives like maybe 2 times a week or something like that. So I can take a break. You guys, I'll tell you this. Oh, by the way, Pyramid Salon, who are you? I'm in Florida. You know who I am? No, I know there's a lot of people in Florida. Who can you give me a better hint, please? And thank you, since you're still here. Just a little hint, something. On any of these platforms that are up right now, which is YouTube, Telegram, TikTok, Instagram. I do these lives. I usually come on and I talk about things for manifesting. But manifestation is not just the video that you catch on YouTube talking about think positive and raise your vibration and that's a lot of fluff. There's a lot. Pine Hills, that sounds like somebody that I know named Cheryl. I don't know. I could be wrong. So there's a lot of fluff that goes on with YouTube, and how people are presenting these things. Sometimes because people don't know or they're afraid to offend you. I had a class just this weekend, and this guy was like kind of speaking kind of negative. And I was talking about Christianity. I was listing facts that actually happened in history. And he was like, "You're speaking negative." I'm like, "Ooh, that's interesting that I'm telling you the truth and it's negative." It's like sometimes the truth is not always positive. And if you actually really read, I got it right. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? And I love the pyramid. Okay, I see what's going on. Sometimes the truth is really, really not pretty. And if you start to recognize that you have a lot of control over your life, you'll recognize the not prettiness that you've been maintaining. The first thing you want to do is want to be ashamed because the religions have taught you to do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Next thing you might want to do is be a little bit curious and say, well, why? Why did this all turn out this way? And when you do, you be like, I see why now. I see why this has happened, and I see why I've done these things. And you start to work past those vices. Like, oh, wait a minute, I'm doing that thing because I'm afraid. I'm afraid right now, and this is okay. And when you start to do that, it's now because we're getting into mental alchemy. This is what, by the way, law of attraction, law of assumption, manifesting, the secret, all these things are based off of Hermetic principles, but before Hermetic was Kemetic, which is Egyptian. So they took it from there and then it changed into the Hermetic and it changed into what we have now with the religions. Keeping in mind that as things have gone on, the word gets translated into things that's not what it really meant because people sometimes don't know and they're just trying to get the gist of things. You have seen this happen in this day and age with a lot of the isms that we are talking about now, where it started out one way and then it turns into a whole other way. And if you can imagine, that's only like within a matter of 5 years. Let me see what this person is saying. It's a matter of 5 years, and these are eons of words that have been translated, spoken, all that sort of stuff. And it's very, very, it's very important that you recognize that these words are not the same as what they start out as. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Amiedo, thank you very much. I decided to wear yellow today. Saying that I look good in my dress. I appreciate it. I'm really trying. I'm not trying. I'm like really wanting to just be more in the feminine energy. And what better than yellow? Hello, right? By the way, those colors, they mean a lot. If, as I was talking to you before about Egypt, um, there's a there's a goddess named Hathor, translates in a lot of other languages and a lot of not languages, a lot of other religions. um and they usually have the same colors, they have the same things tied and associated with them. um but they're not actually gods or goddesses, they're states of minds that you embody. But then it's kind of got translated into other things and it became this whole goddess with a whole picture and a whole face. And it's like, oh, you guys too, all you guys are doing that. They all do it. So this is why I say go to the beginning. i feel like I feel like Mary Poppins. Let's start at, not, is it Mary Poppins? No, it's Sound of Music, Julie Andrews. So start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. When you read, you begin with A, B, C. And when you sing, you begin with Do, Re, Mi. And when you get into religions, you go into the beginnings of wherever these things came from and find out who's translating from who and why. Okay? And you'll find that there's lots of translations of the Bible, and things get lost in translation. If anybody has a parent or knows anybody that speaks another language, I encourage you guys to start making friends. My nose is kind of running right now. Sorry, it's so gross. But make friends. And then when you start to hear them talk in their native language or whatnot, and then when they're doing that, you start to recognize they try to translate something to you. Everybody else is laughing, and then they tell you what they said, and you're like, huh, eh, eh. It's like it gets lost. Like you have to know the real meanings. It's the same thing with understanding this stuff of the religions and what they were initially saying versus what they are saying now. And no religion is better or worse than the other. They all have their dirty pasts. They all have a lot of schmurder in their history, a lot. Okay, and have a lot to do with a lot of the mindsets that we have about people and race and all that sort of stuff. You think it's one thing, but you'd be surprised how handy religion has been in that. And I'm not talking about one religion, I'm talking about all of them. Right now, we got people fighting, destroying people's lives in parts of Asia because they're the wrong. It's just ridiculous. So step away from that, start reading for yourself, find out why did these things come into rule and that sort of stuff. Okay, somebody's asking a question. Let me see if I can figure out how to see what they are saying. Um, this is inside my Telegram group. Gosh darn it. Oh no, did I just lock? Did I come out? Let's see. Oh no. Somebody asked about books, if I can recommend any books about manifesting. Well, I'm always recommending the Kybalion. It's very deep, but you want to learn about the basics, the seven. The Kybalion from the Three Initiates. The Hermetica, you can look that up. It's going to be like a mystery at first when you start reading these things. You're going to be like, and then also you might like, okay, the Emerald Tablets, they said all these things in there, and then you're going to relate it to what they're saying in the Bible, which they're basically saying the same thing, except the meanings of things have changed. And so then you're going to want to use your meaning and put it to that meaning, and it gets misinterpreted. So you have to be very aware that what words they're saying don't mean the same thing that we would think right now. They don't. What did they mean? Um okay, so that's somebody saying, don't you know says the game of life and how to play it. I think that's Florence Shovel Shin. I cannot with her name. Myself personally, I never really got into her because I recognized too much of Christianity in what she was saying, and it bothered me. So that's a book, but I feel like it really holds on to Christianity a lot of what she says. And then the divine timing and the divine this is like, what is divine? What does that mean? Where's it coming from? How come, you know, or what is this? What's going on? Because there's not an explanation to the question. It's kind of like that era's form of what we're doing now. And understanding as you get deeper into this how extremely calculating the universe is. It is never going to just be divine timing. There's a lot more to it. um and I guess that's where the astrology and all that kind of stuff came into play, but then it got this I guess dismissed. Then the sciences took over and they all tie into each other, and we're going through a metamorphosis with that right now. The universe is extremely calculating. And the more aware and silent you become, the more aware you'll become of how calculating it really is. And humorous. Oh, the whole divine timing. I like how you explained the whole divine timing. You know what? I didn't even really explain it. I feel like I just cheated you. I'm sorry. The divine timing. Thank you, Amiero. I feel like the divine timing. There are so many checks, weights, and balances. The thing that I know about it is this: when you relax, that's the right time. If you do not relax, it's never going to be the right time. Um, but it's also going along with you dealing correctly with polarity, relaxing, understanding when you're in your which gender you're in, which is the masculine or feminine energy, understanding the correspondence, and just how about this? I'll tell you this. If you created a game, you would create a game. So yeah, when you relax, it's the right time. I love that. Yeah. When you create a game, you're going to create a game because you want to have fun with this game. You also are going to make it so that because you already know everything, that there's no way that you can lose in the game. You're just not going to be able to lose. So the best thing to do so that you can play the game, really get into the game, is forget. But if you're like a master game maker, you're going to make it so that there's no way you can lose. No way you can lose, because the point of the matter is you want to have fun, but you also want to win. You always want to they go to the next level, next level, next level. So imagine that this is what's going on with life. You've created a game. You do not want to lose. You're not going to lose because you created so that you don't lose. Now you're going to give yourself little hints and clues about how to win, and everything that you do is going to make you win. Um, when you start to recognize the patterns, you start to recognize, oh, there's no way that I'm going to lose. So let me just relax and it will all come into place. And you're supposed to like really have a good time. Now, keep in mind, we've forgotten a lot of who we are. So sometimes it's not a good time. You're like, gosh, darn it, this is really not a good time. But when you start paying attention to your that little nagging voice, it's like, I want to get out and dance. And you're like, I cannot dance. I got to do this thing at this time. And da, 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 da. I have all these things that are going on. When you start to recognize that voice is telling you what you need to do to win, you start to relax a little bit and don't care what the outside voices are saying. You That doesn't make any sense. It's a certain time of the day. You cannot dance. You People don't dance at this time. And you're like, but I want to. So then you do it. And when you start listening more and more to these little things, you find yourself in the right place at the right time, at the right everything, and then it all comes. And that's like the best thing I can say about divine timing. Um, Keeping in mind that this all can be against and for you, but it's never against you. I just sound like I'm contradicting myself, which I am, but it's like, it's not like you meet the person that's terrible for you and you have a terrible time. It was actually for you, but you could have gotten out of it quicker. You just didn't realize it. It was just that you were having a hard time recognizing the pattern, and then you're like, this hurts a lot. And then it turns out, when you find out what was going on in that mind of that person, you're like, oh, snap. Thank God. I am so glad that I figured this out. And no, thank you. What was I doing? I don't reach down anymore. Hello. And then it gets better. But it's only when you start to recognize the patterns, recognize what you're supposed to do, and you recognize that you have to stop shutting out that voice within. I'm not going to sing that Christina Aguilera song because I don't want to massacre it, but trust the voice within. But if you have too much noise and too much masculine going on, you're going to drown out the feminine energy that's inside of you, inside of me. Every person, every person has it. It's not just, whatever you identify with. Everybody has to have a masculine and feminine. Everybody has to. There's no exceptions. So when you recognize it, and that you what the feminine is versus the masculine, then you will see a lot of huge changes. Huge things happen. What is the topic? Somebody's asking me. Actually, there's no topic right now. What I'm talking about is just I'm shooting the shit about manifesting and how it deals with your regular life and how it came about in some ways. I'm giving you little hints about it, telling you to check out things. Somebody asked about a book. I said the Kybalion from the Three Initiates. And told you a bit about the origins of how this whole law of attraction thing came about. People like to talk about the law of assumption and the law of attraction like it's two different things. If you can imagine, that's how Christianity started to split off into the different. Now you got the Pentecostal, now you got the Baptist. It's the same thing. You're talking about the same thing, but you just split. Well, no, I don't do it that way. I drink my tea with my finger pinky up. And somebody's like, "Oh, pinkies up is disgusting. That's savage. I have all my fingers curled and I do it this way, but you're still drinking the tea." So, that's I'm just talking about a little bit about that. Actually, I'm going to be going soon. Every time I come in here, my day instantly gets better because of your energy. You know what? Have a good day. What? That's the person's name, by the way. I just went into my. Oh, have a good day. Thank you. Thank you. Every time you say something like this, it really gives me. It's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm doing something. Actually, you know, I appreciate it. Thank you so much." Um, so yeah. Have a wonderful day too, Amieto. I wonder how you're doing. I'm sure everything is going amazing. I yeah, I'm going to be back again tomorrow, you guys. Same bat time, same bat channel. I might be on my other page, in my Instagram. It's the shift with Gigi Star. It's the same thing as my um TikTok. I've been working on dealing with my platforms. My platforms, Facebook. Ugh, and Instagram. It's kind of ugh, but I'm dealing more with YouTube and the Tickety Talk. Um, but I come on all of these except for the Facebook one because Facebook can go kick rocks if I do say so myself. I'm done with you, divorce. Although I have some groups that I'm in that I have no choice but to be in. If I could just separate, I would. I would. But there's a journey that I'm going on right now, and they're like, come on to Facebook. And I'm like, can we meet in person? Or you can give me your phone number and we can text. We haven't gotten to that point yet. So I'm only on there in my personal life. But yeah, um, I'm on here tomorrow for the rest of this month, which was a few more days, every day. At supposed to be around 10:30, but I came on late because I'm getting worn out doing this stuff every day at that same time. It's kind of stressing me out. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to actually enjoy what I'm like, have what I want to say, and just say it, and then go about my day and do the rest of the things I need to do. So, same bat time, same bat channel, manifestation talks, talking about whatever. If you ask me any questions, I will be happy to answer them. If I know them, if I do not know them, then I will tell you so. I'll tell you I don't know because I really cannot stand it when people just start speaking and they just don't know. I don't know. I absolutely do not know. I'll tell you. And maybe somebody else will know. You get what I mean? Maybe it might give me something to learn or be like, oh, let me find out about this. This is very interesting, and eat it up. Um, but on the weekends, on Saturdays, I have my manifestation, um, what is it called? Manifestation 101. And I do a presentation. This weekend, I didn't do too much of a presentation. I just started just to talk. But I have sometimes there's cute little gifs in there and animations. Sometimes you hear like people talking about whatever. Like if I say something, I'm like, and here's the proof, boom, and here's the video with the person saying it out of their own mouth. You know what I mean? So then, but nobody can be like, that never was said. It's like, oh, contraire, boom, here it is. Because there's a lot of just speaking and not proving or anything. A lot of knowledge and nobody gaining wisdom. Be aware that you want to gain wisdom for yourself. Hear something, but then test it out for yourself. So that's what I'm about. Come and see me again. I'm glad that you guys joined me. Oh wait, somebody said something. Uh, wait a minute. I don't know what this person is saying, but I'm not even gonna bother repeating it. Oh, okay, you're 2 hours behind. Where are you? Have a good day. California, right? Good afternoon, Ryan. I'm going to be leaving. I was just looking at some of these comments. Wait a minute. Elmara. What? I'm gonna repeat this because this is hilarious to me. I have a sense of humor. She can spit in my food and I'll still eat it. What a baddie. That's gross and unhygienic. I don't know who you're talking about, but hopefully you will never do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Raise your standards a little bit higher. Don't make anybody spit in your food and disrespect you like that. You better say something. That or say, you know what, for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. You draw up the best one you can find and put it right in their food. Sometimes, people talk about karma. Sometimes you're people's karma, okay? But don't make any woman do that to you. Please, please don't do that. And woman, don't make any man do that to you either. Please, please, Lynn, please. You're a half educator and half comedian. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But I mean, Brian, I'm sorry. I had to laugh because it's hilarious to me. Like I don't know. That's one of the things that I absolutely love to do. It's just you know what? I'm gonna tell you this really terrible thing that happened to me. I fell down once and I broke my front tooth. And I didn't like it wasn't chipped; it was broke. I had these man. I had really nice teeth, and then that happened. It was very devastating. But when I fell, the first thing I did was laugh because I just fell. Like that was hilarious to me until I realized that I was bleeding profusely. And I was like, oh, there's something wrong. What is happening? But my instinct was to laugh. There's a lot of stuff that's happened to me in my life where the first thing I did was laugh. Not a nervous laugh, but just because it was humorous. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm in deep shit right now. Hold up. You know what I mean? And then afterwards I laugh when I fix it. So yeah, when this person is saying this stuff, I have no choice but to laugh because it's hilarious. Oh, okay. A few questions, really quick, if you can. Like, ask me like one or two questions. Wait, I have a few questions for you about me, Brian. I don't know about you, but ask me your question, and then I'm going to skedaddle because I got to do some stuff today. I got the frills on. You know what that means? That means I gotta go to the store and I gotta go to the supermarket with my frills, right? Because this is feminine to me. I like that. And I got the yellow one, which means I gotta go grocery shopping with a real like a hand sewn grocery bag, not the plastic ones, like the hand sewn. If I could ride my bike and have a little ring on there, like a little ringer, I would. But this is me dressed up to go to the store because I just like to look like that when I go to the supermarket. So let's do this. What is the question? Stylist, hilarious. This thing is so like this is not in style, but you know what? I knew it was going to be in style because guess what? The frills. You cannot. This is a summer of going back into the femininity and the frills. You'll see some girls that have a lot of this stuff. Why not? Because it's frilly. Hello. Okay. Um. Okay. I kids to wait. Okay, wait. I think I'm gonna put this together. I have kids to the same woman twice, meaning they both use the kids as a weapon towards me. Two different women. They're both they both are angry and bitter. Okay, wait a minute. You're saying that you have two children, two different women, um, and they're both using the children against you to hold things over you as a weapon. They're both angry and bitter. Okay, I understand. Now, this right here, I'm going to be as gentle as possible. This problem is reflecting back to you something that's going on with inside of you. Once you start recognizing what's going on, because you recognize there's a pattern of two, not one, but two women with the same angry and bitter thing, it may make you even want to think that all the women are that way, that you may encounter women and they're all going to be this way, but it's only how you're feeling and thinking about relationships, your relationships with women, things that, first of all, things that you see about people breaking up and how they just get crazy, um, women holding the child over the man, and just resentment and all sorts of craziness, and think that's just the way it is, right? I'm glad that you're here because there's a part of you that's kind of like, you know what? I don't think that it should be like this for me. And you're right. So now, wait, what are you saying? 4-3 to my ex, 1 to the other. 4-3. Wait, to my ex? Oh, I'm not understanding that. But I guess you're just explaining the amount of children to what woman, the ratio. That's okay. It doesn't matter. What matters is your feelings towards what's going on in the situation and with women, and having to address some stuff inside of you that's going to make you recognize, oh, I'm feeling these things and they're reflecting these things back to me. It seems outlandish, but if you start to change your feelings about relationships, about how you feel as a result of what's happened, because there may be some sort of guilt, or just maybe it could be emasculating helplessness or something like that, um, something like that that's happening inside of you that you have to address to help yourself stand firm, so that because there's like an imbalance when we're dealing with polarity. There's different ways of polarity. We got law of attraction and law of assumption, where you're jumping from one end of the pole to the next, where you're thinking, oh, I'm feeling rejected by the mother of my children. I feel a certain way. I'm going to start thinking that I'm no longer that. Then there's another where you're tying into your essence of masculine or feminine energies that you're in, paying attention to that and balancing that out. It seems very complex because I'm trying to like spit it out at you, but there is a balance that's going on, and it could be something that you're ignoring within inside of yourself, and it's imbalanced. So you have to recognize what's happening, bring yourself into the center by emotionally stabilizing yourself, and then being able to see what's happening, and then going comfortably to the side that you actually want to be experiencing. Sometimes we don't feel like we deserve it, and it takes a lot of work to basically hypnotize yourself out of, I'm not worthy, relationships are terrible, these women are crazy. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. It takes work, and it takes a lot of letting go of emotions that are inside of you, that are holding you back and making you feel a certain way, and making you feel full of shame or resentment or anger, or I don't know, right? Because I don't know what's going on, and what I have to sit down and talk. um, and then when you start to do that, you're able to get yourself balanced out and be brave enough to jump to the other, or lean onto the side that you actually want. No, I actually want to be getting along with my children. I want us to all have a picnic, or um, I'll say a go away, where, because there's people that do this, whereas the babies, the ex-wives and the children, all of them together in this one. Now we're going to Hawaii, all of us, with your new whoever partner and your new kids. This happens sometimes. This happens, right? That may be something that you actually would like to do, where everybody gets along. They have their partners. Everything is really great. Your children are well balanced. You're well balanced despite what happened. It's possible. So you have those types of things that you first want to do. Recognize You recognize first that there was a pattern. Recognize how you feel about it, what's truly going on, and then be brave enough to change your mind dealing with the polarity. Okay. Hey, at the club. So somebody named Chief World 2112. Hey, baby. First of all, no, my name ain't Baby. It's Miss Janet. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Or Gigi. Okay. Let's go kick it, Buffalo Wings, and go kick it at the club. Club, hell no. Buffalo Wings, I'll do those because I love Buffalo Wings. Those are my favorite. I've said this before. I love Buffalo Wings. Okay. But where are we going? Because I like things to be made at home, because all the seed oils at the stuff that's going on, they don't care. They put all sorts of stuff in there. Like, why are you putting corn syrup inside of the buffalo wing sauce? No, no, thank you. So, club, oh yeah, no thanks. My feet, no, no, thank you. We're not doing that. I really don't want. I really don't want to be in another relationship for right now. That's fine. But I'm saying, because you're healing yourself, but you can actually see yourself when you finally decide, no, I actually want to have a relationship and I want to have a balanced relationship with the exes as well, you do that. Um, that song is legendary. What song was it that I was singing? So many songs go on in my mind. It is ridiculous. Anyways, you guys, I have got to go. Would you go to a sports bar? No. You want to know why? I've outgrown them. I've outgrown the sports bar because I would be at sports bars and they have buffalo wings, they have beer, chicken and beer. I love it. But I've cut back on the drinking because you know what? As you get older, your body's like, this ain't working for me. So then when you decide to listen to your body and you don't drink anymore, not because you're trying to be good and you were like having problems with drinking, because but because when you were drinking and you had like one drink and you woke up the next morning feeling dehydrated and like, why did I have that beer? It's like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. I want to be radiant. I want to have clear skin and whatever. I want to feel better. So you realize that they go into those bars, everybody's drinking, and you can't be like, "Can I have a water with a lime and just your company? Let's talk." You can't do that. So it's time to find other things to do. I want to go rowboating. Is there canoeing? Can I? And you start meeting new people. I'm gonna go outside and sit in nature. Hey, you come here often? I just made fermented kefir water. Let's try it out. I don't know. I'm just saying that's the reason why. Um, okay. I will catch you guys later. Hi. Hi, Barbara. I'm out of here. I enjoyed talking to you guys today. Thanks for the nice words. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm tired because I've been up getting ready for all this and getting all the other things together. So I'm going to take a rest right now. Yeah, guys, thank you. Thank you for joining me today. And I will talk to you tomorrow, sometime around this time. Maybe a little, maybe closer to 10, 11. I don't know. We'll work it out. I'll see you. Bye. Bye. Oh, no, that's not what I was doing. Okay, and now.